Oh yeah. Not many cars left. But my chariot awaits. Man, I love this car. And to be honest, that's what brings us to today's video. The love and fascination of people and great cars, or better yet, fast cars. So let's get to the video. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. We get you turned around here. Now that brings us to the topic of today's video. Man, it feels good getting off work. Which is the fascination with Americans, or the world in general, with fast cars. And what do I mean by that, and what does this have to do with anything? Well, I'm sure by now you have read the title, so you know by now, by watching the evening news or on the internet, however you get your news, that Kevin Hart was involved in a car accident, a customized car, and we'll get into all that here in just a second. But I wanted to bring everybody on my channel up to date and everything, because it's getting crazy, it's getting out of hand. There's a lot of speculations and talk of a lot of lawsuits, and you can imagine why. Now, just for those that don't know all the players involved, I'm going to go ahead and break it down. And for those that do know, you can listen, or you can skip fast forward just a little bit. You, of course, had Kevin Hart, who is a well-known comedian.
Fellas, let me tell you something. The worst thing that you can do in life is not respond to your lady's text message. Do you hear me? That's the worst thing that you can do. The reason why I say that is because your woman will then proceed to having a conversation with herself through the messages that she's sending you.
And actor.
Which car is yours?
All of these to the right.
Oh my God.
They're not practical.
Exactly.
You had Jared Black, who is a producer, and you had his fiancée, who is Rebecca Broxterman. Hope I pronounced that right. Hope I didn't screw it up. And the company that built the car, Speedcore. Now that you know all the players that are involved, let's go to Speedcore first. And you'll understand when I get deeper into the video why I went with Speedcore first. Speedcore is a very well-known, very famous custom car maker, builder, customizer, however you want to say it. But they take the classic cars that we all love and change them and alter them and make them into something with today's power plants, with today's brakes, transmissions, everything, fuel systems. They bring them up to snuff. What they actually do is take these old cars and make them better than new. They really do. Like I said, they put the up-to-date everything in it. Suspension, drivetrain, everything. And then this is, in fact, is what probably saved everyone's life that was in this car. And I will get back to that in just a second. I'm sorry to keep putting you off and off and off, but I want it to be kind of in a timeline so you understand what all was going on. Speedcore has a lot of high-end clientele, as you can imagine, because customized cars are not cheap by no means a stretch of the imagination. And I'll give you a list of a few of them just so you know what's going on. Bill Goldberg, you know, Bill Goldberg, one of the wrestlers, he had them do a custom wide body Hellcat for him. Robert Downey Jr. had a older Mustang done for him, and he was so pleased, Robert Downey Jr. that is, was so pleased with the expertise, the work and everything, that he actually had them build another car, which was a Camaro, to give to his buddy off the Avengers movie. You know him, you know who it is, wait for it, none other than Captain America himself, Chris Evans.
So an LS3, the Chevy motor, it's at a Whipple supercharger. It's about 750 horsepower, something like that.
This might as well be Spanish to me.
Yep, Robert Downey Jr. spent $275,000 on this car to have it customized by Speedcore to give to Chris Evans. And then of course you have the CUDA for Joe Rogan. Everybody knows Joe Rogan from UFC, Ultimate Fighters, show. You know him from Scare Tactics, just to name a couple shows. But yeah, Joe Rogan had one built for him also with CUDA. And that's where Kevin Hart got the idea that he wanted a CUDA. He wanted one like Joe Rogan's, but you know, a little different to meet his taste. And that's where the CUDA, the 1970 CUDA that Kevin Hart owned, came from. And the name of his car was Menace. Now, back to the players that were in the car. You had Jared Black again, Rebecca Broxterman, and Kevin Hart. And they were out for, you know, whatever they were doing, night on the town, I'm assuming. I don't know, I wasn't there. But all reports are they were all in the car together. And keep in mind, this is a two-seater car. There's only 2 seats in this car. So Rebecca was sitting in the back. Now whether she was sitting on a pillow, sitting on the metal floor, I don't know. It's kind of odd that she was there, you know, sitting in that position like it was. But she was. So, she was there. You know, she was along for the ride. She wasn't driving. But here's where everything gets crazy. According to reports, they came off of Cold Canyon Road in California, turned on to Mulholland, and when they did that, the car lost control, skidded, went through a fence, rolled over, they don't know how many times, at least once, which crushed the top of the car and pinned people inside. You know, they couldn't get out. Now that's, you know, a typical accident. You know, stuff happens and everything, but it gets weird from there. And we'll probably never know the answers, but here's the weird details. Kevin Hart's security was in another car behind him. Now keep in mind, this happened at 12:45 a.m. in the morning on September 1st, 2019. Just a little while ago, a couple months ago. Actually, just 1 month ago. 12:45, September 1st, 2019. His security was behind him. So what do you think happens? You know, they pull up, they call 911, get everybody out, right? Nope, not even close. It gets kind of weird because a bystander seen what happened. The security guy pulled Kevin Hart out of the driver's side. And this caused a big controversy and big uproar because everybody was saying Kevin Hart was driving. Kevin Hart was driving. That's why they pulled him out of that side. But in actuality, that's not true. Because the other 2 people were actually pinned in the car. Rebecca, by all accounts, was on the passenger side, pinned between the roof and the passenger seat. Jared was pinned behind the driver's seat. So either he flipped and changed positions, you know, while the car was flipping with Kevin, or Jared was driving. Okay. Now, can you imagine what that exit strategy conversation was like? Hey, homegirl, you know, I'm on my way out. Peace. We're gonna go get help, and we'll be back later. You know, yada yada yada. That didn't happen. Which is another strange fact of this story. Kevin Hart went home. His security guy took him home. And I'll play the 911 tape here in a minute.
County Fire 78, what's the address?
Beach View to transfer is going to be southbound Mulholland Highway just south of Stunt Road, and we are in route.
Okay, one moment. Is everybody in the vehicle awake?
Yeah, they're both awake. Sounds like the passenger's stuck in the car. The driver is out of the car, but he looks a little hurt. I think the top of the car is crushed.
Mulholland and Las Virgenes, okay.
I'll stay here until the cops.
Okay, how many people are stuck inside, do you know?
I think it's just one lady now. The driver's out right now. They're trying to get the passenger out.
Okay, and how many vehicles involved total? 2?
No, it's just one car that went off. I'm here with another car that stopped to pull over. Pulled over to help.
Uh-huh.
And that's it. So there's only one car that went off.
Okay. All right, and everybody is conscious and breathing. She's just the only one that's actually stuck inside the vehicle?
Yeah.
Is the vehicle overturned at all?
No, it's not. It's just it's off. It's just on the angle on the hill.
All right, so I'm gonna stay on the line with you until somebody gets there, okay?
Sure.
Can you? Is it possible for you to find out if she has any injuries?
Yeah. Does she have any major injuries you guys know of? No major injuries.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be able to do that. But she's not complaining of any, like, major broken bones, severe bleeding, anything like that? I'm sorry?
It does not sound like it. No.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The fire department is on the way. CHP is as well. They're going to be there in just a moment. I'm going to keep you on the phone for just in case anything changes, okay?
Of his wife, Anika, okay? She finally called 911 an hour and a half later. An hour and a half later, they left his friend and his friend's fiance in the car trapped for an hour and a half before calling 911. Now I'm going to give Kevin Hart benefit of the doubt, saying that, you know, maybe he couldn't talk, maybe he wasn't in his right mind from the crash, maybe he wasn't in the right state of mind to call 911. That's all fine and dandy. You still had the security guy who was in his right mind, who could have called, but did not. They just left the people there to die. His wife, I don't know if it was just when she found out or she waited a while, finally called.
LA County Fire, number 6.
Hi, I was in an accident. I just need to know I need someone to come get him.
Thank you. And he's at a house, apartment, or business right now?
Yes, he's in a house.
In a house, okay. In the good. And wait?
Yeah.
Okay, and so he was in a car accident earlier tonight, or what happened?
Yes, earlier tonight. I don't know what happened.
Okay, but...
He's not coherent at all.
Okay, so... Okay, is he breathing?
Yes, he's breathing.
Okay, so... He was injured in a car accident. Did he get treatment originally from when he was injured? Did he go to the hospital, or?
No treatment at all. We're just here, and he can't move.
Okay, how long ago did that accident happen, though? How long? I mean, a couple of hours ago, or when?
Like 20 minutes ago.
Okay, and so did it happen in front of your house?
No, not in front of our house. Outside of our gated community.
Okay, but now he's inside the house with you, correct? Correct?
Yes.
Okay, the fire department's on the way. We want to keep him in a very stable position and not move him.
But luckily, for the people in the car, luckily, witnesses and people that were driving by seen what was going on, seen the car wreck, and called the authorities. Thank goodness, or we'd have 2 fatalities on our hand. Thank goodness. Oh, good old traffic. Look at that. Yes, sir. Now everybody's going to start jumping from lane to lane to lane to try to get one car ahead. Yay! But back to the story. You know, it just doesn't add up. What was going on with Kevin Hart? Like I said, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he was out of it because of the wreck. You know, he might have bumped his head or whatever's going on. But himself and Jared, who were in the front seats, where everything is, the steering wheel and all the stuff, they're the ones with the most severe injuries. Both of them have damaged backs and everything. And as I said in the 911 call, you'll hear where Kevin Hart's wife, Anika, called and said that there was actually something sticking out of Kevin Hart's back. Whatever that was, I don't know. I'm not a doctor or a professional like that, so I just don't know. But here's where the lawsuits are going to start flying. Kevin Hart already is, by all accounts, planning on suing Speed Corps. The reason I put Speed Corps first is because Speed Corps builds top-notch cars. Top-notch. Way better than they ever came from the factory. Because they build such top-notch cars, they do the reinforcing, they do the framework and everything to make them above the standards of when these cars were built new. They're much safer, okay? Everybody's screaming, oh, it didn't have a 5-point harness, it didn't have a 5-point harness. Well, that's all fine and dandy. In order to have a 5-point harness, you really need at least a roll bar behind the seats, which the car did not have. And I'll be in certain pictures and all that stuff, you know, through this whole video. But it did not have them. And that's what everybody's whining about. Well, okay. So the highway patrol gets the car, does their test and comes up with some findings. And come to find out, the seatbelts that were actually in the car weren't even being used anyway. So it's regardless of whether it had a 5-point harness, a 20-point harness, a full roll cage, anything, because they were not using it. These seatbelts were folded and tucked in the creases of the car. They were not being used. Nobody had them on. So just forget about the 5-point harness. Not there. Of course it's not going to have airbags. They don't make airbags to be able to retrofit into older cars. It's not done. They're not there. They're not available. So that's out of the question. It got dark in here, didn't it? All that stuff is just out of the question. The only lawsuit that there could be would be Jared Black going against Kevin Hart. And this is a long shot because it's Kevin's car. Kevin let him drive. And, you know, it's just like if I come to your house and I slip and fall in your house, you're ultimately responsible for me slipping and falling. Your homeowner's insurance has to pay that. Now, outside of that, Rebecca doesn't have a lawsuit because she was in the freaking back of the car where there was no seats, no seat belts or anything. What she was doing back there, you know, there was probably, they might have even met up, you know, outside the restaurant and everything. Who knows? And then said, hey, let's go for a cruise, whatever. Let's go to the house for a while. Leave your car here. We'll take my car. And she climbed in the back. Well, that responsibility ultimately falls on her for not having enough common sense to say, nope, this car doesn't have back seats. I'm not riding in this thing. But the findings of the police report say that when they turned on the Mulholland Avenue, or Mulholland Drive, whatever the heck it is, that Jared Black instigated in a case of reckless driving. What does that mean? It can, you know, it could mean several things. And this may be the only out that Kevin Hart has. The throttle could have stuck. It could have. It's been known to happen before in other cars. The throttle could have stuck and caused them to lose control. Not likely, but it is possible. Jared Black just got on it and lost control. Or Jared Black was doing a burnout and lost control. That's really the only three scenarios there is, unless just something broke on the car, but that's not likely because there's skid marks, long skid marks, which are representative of either going fast and losing control and hitting the brakes and sliding, or doing a burnout. But I just wanted to do this video to give my subscribers, my viewers, the actual factual information of what is currently out there, because everybody, you know, when something like this happens, it goes crazy. Oh, the car wasn't safe, the car didn't have this, the car didn't have that, yada yada freaking yada. It's not the car. The car is what saved all three of these people. All three of these people need to be thankful to Speed Corp for building a car that could withstand the wreck that happened and nobody died. Everybody basically, for all intent and purposes, walked away. That's what everybody needs to be doing. Not be concerned about, oh, they built a bad car and everything, just because you can't afford it. You can't afford a $275,000 car, so you want to blame it on the car. People just drive me absolutely crazy with these innuendos and stuff. And these people drive me absolutely crazy because they know that the lane runs out, but they're going to ride it to the very last second. But yeah, Speed Corp did nothing wrong. The car did nothing wrong, unless the throttle stuck. The reason that I put it in at the beginning, the man and the love of vehicles, and especially speed, is because speed is very dependent on how much money you have. It seems like the more money you have, the faster you want to go, the faster you need to go, the faster you think you need to go, right? But what do I mean by that exactly? Well, not and this will tie into the previous section about Speed Corps and their cars and safety equipment, seatbelt stuff, 5-point harnesses. The people that can afford them live out in that area. The people that are, you know, hollering that there wasn't no safety equipment and this and that. Well, think about this. You guys also own Lamborghinis. You guys also own Porsches. You guys also own Ferraris. Many of which has more power, more lightweight and everything than Kevin Hart's 1970 Barracuda. Right? Do you have a 5-point harness? Very simple question. No, all you have is a shoulder belt and a lap belt. So get off the bandwagon about it didn't have a 5-point harness. Speed Corps should have done that. Speed Corps should have done that. It had the best brakes available for the car. It had, you know, a good engine, really good engine for the car. It was a Hellcat engine and all this stuff. It had top-notch equipment. It was professionally built. It's what saved them. But I just wanted to put this out there for all my viewers and everything. I was planning on making this video at home, but as you can see, it is now 6:29 and it's almost dark. It's dark in this car. That's why I got the sunroof open, so that you can halfway see me while I talk to you. And there's not much more to it. When I find out any more information, I'll put it out there for you, concerning the lawsuits and all that stuff. God, I hate this. The speed limit's 70. We're doing 61. And look, these people won't get over. They won't speed up. Duckies. But yeah, I just want to put it all out there for you, and I'll give you updates as I find out if there are any updates. Because right now everybody's lawyered up. They're not leaking any information. They're not saying we're going to do this. We're not saying we're going to do that. Is that because everybody's planning a lawsuit? Who knows? Is it because everybody's trying to work out everything behind closed doors? Who knows? And just so you know who Rebecca Broxterman is, that happens to be a fitness trainer, a personal fitness trainer of a lot of celebrities. One of them including Kevin Hart's wife, Anika. Yep. And I'm sure that Jared and Kevin, their relationship goes further than just friendship. They probably have had dealings, doing a show or a movie or something, or a stand-up act or whatnot. But until next time, guys, I'm going to try to make it home. We're finally moving past 61 degrees. And you know what I say? Get out there and enjoy your car. That's exactly what I'm doing in mine. Even though I'm in traffic and on the way home from work, I'm enjoying the heck out of this. Until next time, guys, be safe. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.